Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Big Bud Farm. So, no episode on Saturday, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I actually recorded an episode, but I had the wrong mic switch activated, so despite using my boom mic to record all of my audio, my PS4 was set to accept audio from my headset, so no audio is recorded. So I ended up scrapping the episode and rolling back my save file so that I could re-record the episode today instead. And also since then I've also been quite busy with some extra work as well. So you'll notice that we have a brand new piece of equipment. We have the monstrous FlexiCoil ST820 24 meter cultivator. This thing is just insanely big, and as a result of that, we no longer have our Bednar Swifter. That's gone. So what we did was I cleaned up this field here with a cultivation mission. I also did a fertilizer. No, we did the fertilizer mission, I think, to do the cows. So, yeah, we'd already done that. So once we bought the cows at the end of the previous episode, I then cultivated this field, then fertilized it, and then seeded it. And as you can see, it's been seeded with sunflowers to set it up for a potential contract job around harvest time, so that we can get a nice bit of money there using our Helianthus header there, and that'll hopefully bring us in around about 500,000-600,000 when we do that harvest job. On top of that, I have used most of the money to pay off our loan and also buy an additional 50 cows. So you can see there our loan balance is now 0, and our number of cows is now up to 100. So we're in a much better position, with our cows to at least cover the costs of our daily expenses, or at least they will do once they are fully set up. At the moment, obviously, they only have hay, they don't have any straw bedding, they don't have any TMR or silage as part of their food mix, so they're quite limited at the moment at just 62% productivity. And in the little bit of time that we had from getting them all in, the first 50 to midnight, they earned us just over 4,700, I think it was, which just about covered the animal upkeep cost. So our expenses for machinery is around about 19,000 a day. We have around 4,000 a day in animal upkeep costs, and then a few other little miscellaneous expenses, including obviously the loan. The loan's now gone, so that couple of grand has been saved. We're now covering our animal upkeep cost, plus making an extra $500-600 in profit against that particular debt as well. So we've reduced our expenses down from about 25,000 down to around 20,000. Maybe a little bit less than that, maybe around 19,000. So that's all good news. And we are set to do a harvest, but as you can see in the top right corner, the weather icon is showing stormy cloud, which is not good. It means it is going to rain on us, and it is probably going to hold us up on this particular harvest. We're going to be starting on field 1, get our canola out of the way. Obviously we've done this field once before using soybean, which was pretty straightforward because it's such a low yield crop. This time out, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a higher yield. I'm expecting somewhere around, let's see, I think we did about 330,000 litres of soybean when we did that particular field last time out. So I think this time out we're probably looking at around, let's say maybe 450,000 litres at a guess. I mean, we've not done anything other than that one crop on that field. So it may be more than that, it may be less than that, but I'm going to go with a pretty conservative effort, I think, of around about 450,000 litres is what I think we're going to come out with at the end of this. So it means we're probably going to be a little bit more active with our chaser bin here, having to do faster unloads than before, and potentially more unloads on each pass as well. So that's something we're going to have to be wary of. we may possibly get towards actually filling up this chaser bin before we complete a full pass in certain circumstances. So that'll be interesting to see. This is going to be a good kind of benchmark harvest for sunflowers. Once we know, they're kind of a similar kind of yield to canola. So once we know how the canola is going to shake out in terms of total yield, and also how much it's going to, how much work we're going to have to do per pass, it'll give us a good idea of what we can expect for sunflowers as well. And then obviously below that we're looking at would be corn, which means I think probably we would have to actually unload our chaser on a part way up a pass. That's going to be a bit more complicated to do. But we're going to make a start and get our combines up and running. You see they're already lined up there. Mother bins are in place and unfolded and ready, and we have our truck sort of standing by there as well. So everything's ready to go. We literally just need to jump in our combines, get them started, and then we can get this harvest underway. So let's fire this first one up. Check the header position on the edge of the field is good. It is. Fire this one up. This one is slightly inset, so we can actually just push that across a little bit more. It's about there. That should do it. And we'll get that one off underway as well. And let's go back and jump in our big bud and start running a chaser along the side. So we have some farming news to talk about, as always. We'll get up alongside the first combine, ready to unload it. Just change cruise control, and then we'll start talking about the DLCs and mod news that we have for you. Right, so we're just going to sort of drop into a chasing position like this, and we'll wait for the combine to give us the notification that he's ready for an unload. And we'll start with the commercial DLC proposals from the mod contest. You may remember a little while back, after the mod contest, Giants posted saying that they wanted to hear from us as to which packs they would be looking to put into a final decision as to what would become the commercial DLC entry as the result of the mod contest. There were multiple packs that were up for option. There was one from mine's gone blank for a second there. There was one from Frontier Design, which was obviously the team of Bullet Bill and Oxygen David. There was a map entry proposal from them. There was also a map entry proposal from Mapper's Paradise, the guys who did Ballymoon Castle. On top of that, we also had an equipment pack from a modder whose name I forget, and I do apologise. We also had a vehicle pack from Smetty. We had another vehicle and equipment pack which featured a Big M, which I was kind of interested in, mainly because it had the Big M in. And we also had Matt XJS with a vehicle tractor pack with a couple of small pieces of equipment as well, and Team FSI modding, Italian team, who have put together a potato pack, and I believe there was another one as well. I know Smetty put together a Fent pack. He was actually invited along with Matt XJS and Team FSI to actually go to Switzerland and submit their proposals sort of in person. Smetty declined to do that, so it looks like he pulled out the DLC proposals competition. But LSI, is it LSI or FSI? It might be LSI modding actually instead of FSI, so I'll have to double check that. They went along with Matt XJS to Switzerland and actually met with Giants, put together a little presentation for them, and Giants were impressed with both teams to the point that they couldn't decide which one they wanted to be their DLC proposal. So both of them have been accepted and both will be released as a DLC pack. So Matt XJS's pack has changed a little bit since it was first sort of submitted. It was originally going to be a Massey tractor with a JCB fast track, a fence, a Case 5000 series. I think there was another tractor in there as well. The combine is asking for an unload. So it was like 4 or 5 different tractors. I think it was 5 different tractors, and then a couple of small tools on top of that. That has actually changed, and it's now going down to just 2 tractors. But the equipment itself that's going along with that has changed a little bit, and we are also going to have a New Holland combine added into that pack as well. So that's looking really, really nice. It's all going to be sort of 80s to late 90s themed equipment, so that'll really fit in quite nicely, I think, to the game. And LSI Modding's pack was the potato pack, loads and loads of different Grimmer equipment, all designed to really expand upon potato harvesting within the game. And that proposal hasn't changed. It's as it was first submitted, but looks to be very, very exciting, and looks to actually bring quite a lot of value to doing potatoes, which is a little limited at the moment in games. So both of those packs have been accepted. Both are going to become commercial DLCs, and we're looking sometime around late March next year for those to be released. That's kind of the target window for their releases right now. More details are available on my Facebook page, and also on Giants Farming Simulator Facebook page, or their Giants website for Farming Simulator. I do highly recommend you go and check out those links, because you get to see presentation videos that were put together, and get a little bit more information on those as well. Oh, we spent a little bit too long on this front combine, and the rear one is now full. It's a little bit clumsy. We also have some mods in testing. You know, obviously there was no real sort of updates at all last week, because Lissatan, the community manager for the Giants, was at Gamescom all week. They're back now. We did still get some mods being worked on last week, and we have now got some new mods, you know, being tested for consoles as well. Among those is the return of Smetty's Fent 800. A lot of people have been messaging me asking, when is this coming? What's happening to it? And I just could not find any information. I couldn't find any sort of real presence online for Smetty where he was talking about anything at all. I could not find any details about what had happened to it and whether it was coming back. But it is now back in testing, so it looks as though whatever, you know, issues he was having with it, you know, may hopefully have been resolved. It is being, you know, tested by Giants for consoles again right now, so fingers crossed this time it'll pass and we'll actually see it this week. And the BSM hook lift truck has also gone into testing. That was submitted to Giants yesterday and is now being tested, so hopefully we'll see that later this week. Nothing on the West Coast yet. It's being tested for PC, but not for console just yet. So my guess is we'll have to wait for it to be completed on PC first, and then once that's done, it'll then get moved into console testing. So maybe we'll see the West Coast release for PC towards the end of this week, and which would suggest, if that's the case, we're looking at probably next week, I think, for console farmers getting their hands on West Coast, again assuming it passes first time. Maybe it'll be a little bit quicker than that, maybe it'll even be a little bit longer than that. It is a big map, there's a lot of detail in it, a lot of things to check, a lot of things that could go wrong when converting to console. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But there we go, that's bringing you up to date with some farming news and some mod news. And a little sort of update to the channel, we are also bringing back Prison Architect today. In fact, you know, the first part of Season 2 will already be live by the time you see this video. It will have been live for a couple of hours. So if you haven't seen Season 1, we basically built a small prison, started to run it, and then after about 11 parts, the season just kind of stopped. There wasn't a huge amount of interest at the time, but the channel was a lot smaller then, and the audience has kind of changed a little bit since then. So I'm going to give it a second run, and we're also adding in the DLC this time around from All Day and All Night and the Psych Ward DLC as well. So on top of that, we're also going to be running with prison gangs this time out, which should make things a little bit more interesting and dangerous in our prison as well. So really looking forward to seeing how that shakes out. Could be very, very interesting indeed. Let's get lined up here. And City Skylines is continuing to be released on a daily basis. That is by far the most popular thing on the channel right now. You guys are absolutely loving that content, and you know, as long as you're watching it in the numbers you are, I'm going to keep pushing that out on a daily basis. You know, it won't affect my farming sim schedule. It's quite an easy game to record and edit and put together for you, so it won't impact on you know, reducing the number of farming sim episodes. You know, that isn't going to change. Farming sim is actually going to increase in content once the West Coast comes out, because we'll be bringing Massey Manor back. So in the next couple of weeks you can expect a new farm and the revival of Massey Manor to, you know, increase the amount of farm sim content we have on the channel. And we're going to run Prison Architect on a daily basis this week, and then probably switch to a 2, maybe 3 times a week schedule next week. So we'll get our prison up and running this week, and then next week we'll slow the video process down a little bit, just to space the content out a little bit more. So these last 2 passes, the one going down and the one coming back up, we've averaged around about 45,000 litres at the end of the run. So it looks as though we should be okay with this kind of volume. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it changes at all. I need to cycle through the combines here. There we go. Take over and quickly drive across to the other side of the field before that one gets done. See, we're still unloading into our auger there, into our great big mother bin. I do love those things. This is the only map I use them on, but they are really, really handy when it comes to doing these large harvests like this. So we'll get that one kind of roughly lined up, switch over to the other combine quickly. There we go. Bring that over. We're still fighting the threat of rain here. I'm surprised it hasn't started raining already. And I realise I'm tempting fate now by saying that, but I was kind of expecting, when I saw the rain symbol around about 9:30 on the map, I'm like, ooh, it's going to rain, and it's going to rain really soon, and it hasn't yet. Hasn't even gone cloudy yet. So this job's probably going to take me somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours to do in total. Hopefully we can get most, if not all of it, done before the rain hits. So let's get back to our big bud, fold the pipe away, and resume the follow position there. I'm just going to keep an eye on those skies, see when it starts to get sort of a bit overcast and the sky starts dulling a little bit. Okay, so the weather symbol just updated, and you can see we now have a sunshine symbol showing up. So either we've missed the rain and it happened overnight when I wasn't paying attention and speeding up time, which I don't think it did, or it just hasn't happened, or it's about to happen. Either way, we have that little update to the symbol in the top right corner, so something potentially is going to happen pretty soon. I am now starting to think maybe a rain shower is pretty imminent. We'll have to keep our fingers crossed that, you know, that isn't the case. We've made some pretty decent progress so far. You know, we're I think we'll probably be almost halfway through by the time we get to the top. You know, this is the third pass going up on this side, and 2 going down on the other side. So we're covering quite a lot of ground. Just would like to try and get all of this harvested before the weather changes, if possible. So we have a little update for you, actually, on the west coast. You know, we mentioned earlier that it wasn't showing in the testing thread. It turns out it did actually go into testing yesterday. Obviously, there was an update sort of midday, and there were no mods showing in testing at all for consoles. This is usually the way everyone looks at that and goes, "Oh, there's no mods being tested at all today for consoles." That's not always the case. I mean, when that sort of list is compiled and then submitted to Licitan to then publish on the testing thread, that's the state of play at that exact point in time. And then, you know, there's nothing to say that a mod that isn't showing on that list won't then be picked up almost immediately afterwards and go straight into testing. And we've seen that happen in the past before. We've seen mods not show up in testing at all, and then boom, they're actually released later that day. You know, the mod update list is only updated once a day, so it just shows the state of play at the time that list was created. Anything that happens after that list isn't updated until the following day. And that seems to have been the case with the West Coast. It wasn't initially shown as being in testing at all. We didn't see it on any mods in testing at all for consoles yesterday. And then today we got a list that didn't feature the West Coast in it for consoles, but did for PC. Well, it turns out that it did go into testing yesterday and it failed. Now, I said earlier that there's more likelihood of a mod failing its first attempt at testing for console because of the stricter requirements that Giants lays down, and that is unfortunately something that's happened with the West Coast. It fell foul of one of these regulations. Something didn't work quite as expected, and so that map was failed almost immediately because of that. It was submitted back to, or sent back to Bullet Bill. He has amended that issue. He's made plans to amend that issue this evening, and it will be uploaded as soon as he's fixed it. So either tonight or tomorrow, that will get sent straight back to Giants, and then hopefully we'll actually see that pop into console testing tomorrow when the thread is updated. So fear not, that map is definitely being looked at by Giants. It's not being sort of kept way down the list. It is there, ready and very prominent in their minds. They know obviously it's a mod that's in high demand for a lot of people, so we should see some progress on that in the testing thread very, very soon. We're continuing to make good time on this field. Not much left to go now. We've got 2 passes to go after this one going up and then one more coming back down, which will include a partial width pass for the second combine. So really not too much left to go on this field now, and still no rain, still no change in weather, so it looks as though we may yet get this entire field done. Haven't seen any signs of the sky darkening or going grey yet, so I honestly didn't think we'd be able to get this job done. I was expecting to have a rain interruption quite early on into the job and then have to sort of speed time up until it was ready to start again. But yeah, it's been blue skies all the way through, so the weather seems to have been very, very incorrectly predicted here. So it looks as though I may have been just a little bit too hasty about my assertion that the weather was going to hold. You can see it's getting very sort of cloudy. Visibility is decreasing. The rain is definitely now on its way, so it's now a real dash to see whether or not we can get up and down this field again in time before the rain actually hits us. I think we may get this pass done. Beyond that, I just don't know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. But yeah, rain is now definitely inbound, and how cruel would it be if we have half a pass left and the rain stops us for a few hours and we have to wait and wait and wait just to do a tiny little bit of canola. That would be absolutely gutting. It's also... Ah, no! My worst fears have come true. This is where we are on the field. We've got, what, 2/3 of a pass left to go. And here comes the rain. So we are not going to be able to get everything done before, the bad weather hits. That's such a shame. We're going to have to sit here now and wait until that's done. So let's at least empty these combines so that we can get the grain covered up. Let's park that there. I'm going to have to do this manually because the workers have obviously, gone because of the rain stoppage. That's that one there. Let's move into this combine. Do the same. And once these are emptied, we'll have to go and empty out our augers, or at least cover up our mother bins as well, to stop those from getting damp grain. Of course, it doesn't really do anything to us in game, but yeah, it's the visual, the visual kind of reality. I'm actually going to fold this combine up as well. To keep the grain bay dry. There we go. Just climb over the header there. So, let's go get this grain put into our mother bin. We'll get that covered up, and then we'll empty out the other mother bin and get that covered up as well. Alright, so we're back up at this first mother bin here. I'm actually going to detach from that. And connect up to it. And put the cover on it. There we go. I have no idea how much is still left in there. Actually, I didn't think to look when I connected up to it. So I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping we should be able to pick up everything that's left in there, but obviously we've still got another mother bin to take care of once we've done this one. Alright, so the first trailer is done. How much? Oh, that's it. It's all done. So we can move down to the bottom end of the field now. So again, we're going to be a little bit cheeky. We're going to cut through that little hedge just there. Now pull our second trailer under the spout. And while that's doing that, I'm going to disconnect and we're going to close the cover on this mother bin as well. Still a fair bit left in there. I don't know if it'll all fit in. Should do. Yep, there we go. It's all done. So, let's go take this to the silos. We might as well, seeing as we have nothing else to do. And then wait for the rain to stop. And there we go. The rain is just coming to an end now. You can see just a little touch of blue sky starting to creep back in. Starting to brighten up a bit. There we go. You can see the cloud cover starting to lift. So now we just have to wait for the rest of the clouds to just burn off, the sun to come out properly, and dry these crops out again before we can actually start harvesting. Last little bit of the cloud cover seems to be burning off, as you can see. It's still a little cloudy, not quite clear skies just yet. And obviously I don't think everything will have dried out quite just yet, but we've now been sort of parked up for 5 hours waiting for this weather to break. Let's get our engine on. Let's unfold this combine. Let's go and do the same to the other one. Let's get that unfolded and ready to go as well. And with the sky looking very clear now, we should hopefully be able to get back underway. Not quite yet. I hope it's not going to take too long for these crops to dry. We're so close to getting this field finished. I just want to kind of get it all done now. There we go, we're underway again. So, let's run back to the other combine, get him started, and then we can finally get this field finished. There we go. So let's get the final combine unload underway. We'll empty from this one, we'll drop back, tag the other, and then we'll park up next to the mother bin. And anything that's left in these combines at the end can then tip straight into the auger, which will tip into the mother bin. So we've tagged that one. Let's just check the state of the other one. Oh, there's loads of space left in that one. We don't even need to worry about emptying that one at all. So let's just get this in position by the mother bin. We are going to need to take the cover off that. So that we can tip in with this. Go. And now let's get the combines ready to unload. And while that's doing that, we'll jump into the truck. We'll take the cover off that. There we go, this combine should be done. Yes, it is. So we'll get that folded, unfold the header. And this combine is pretty much ready now to transport across back to the farm to swap out for a different header. There we go. And let's find the other combine. There it is. And we'll do the same again. We'll get this unloading into the chaser bin, which will unload into the mother bin. And then we'll unfold the header, get that detached. And then this combine will be the one that we use to harvest our sunflowers and our corn. We only have, well, which we could possibly do one header on each, one combine on each field. Let's fold this up, unfold the header. There we go. Get this attached. There we go. Engine off. And now let's jump into our truck. That's the 450, but we'll just run to the truck from here. There we go. So we have 33,821 litres in here. Let's take that to our silo and get a final tally on just how much canola we've harvested. So the unload is in progress. This shouldn't take very long. Got the maximum tip height there, as you can see. Oh, there we go, we're done. So let's tally up our final amount of canola. 433,940 litres. That's a really nice haul. A little less than what I thought we might get at 450, but still a really nice big amount of canola to play about with there. Crop price isn't fantastic at the moment. We'll probably end up sitting on this. We're not hurting for money at the moment. Obviously, we've got that big injection of cash from the weekend that's cleared all of our debt. So we can afford to sit on this and wait for a great demand for it. Maybe just sell the odd bit here and there if the price looks really quite nice. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of our canola harvest. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.